Welcome back to the Realist Reviews. Today's review is focused on 2021's movie entitled Sweet Girl. And the official synopsis of Sweet Girl is: a man vows to bring justice to those responsible for his wife's death while protecting the only family he has left, his daughter. And I thought that this movie to me, it wasn't a bad movie. I did enjoy it for what it was. This movie definitely had some good moments, quite a few bad moments, and just moments that I wish would have been explored or just talked about more throughout the entire movie. And before I give up my review, please like and subscribe and comment and tell me what I should review next. And here we go. The first thing that I enjoyed about this movie will probably have to be some of the characters. I felt like a good majority of the characters, the main characters, were all likable, and you definitely felt for them throughout the entire movie. Jason Momoa as Ray Cooper, to me, I felt like he did a good job in this movie. I felt like he gave out a good performance for all that he had when it came to certain scenes, action scenes, feeling sorry for him. I definitely did enjoy his character a lot. Another character that I enjoyed in this movie was Isabella Merced as Rachel Cooper. And I was surprised with Isabella Merced actually getting quite a few action scenes of her own. And with her action scenes, she did give out a good performance as well. When it came to like certain things in this movie, Isabella Merced gave out a good performance. Another character that I enjoyed in this movie would probably have to be the FBI detective, Sarah Meeker, played by Lex Scott Davis. Her role in this movie is somewhat small, but she definitely did have like a somewhat of like a big impact in this movie when it came to the main characters. And of course, she had a job which was to bring down Ray Cooper, but at the same time, she still cared about them as well, as she understood the situation. When it comes to all of the other characters that were in this movie, they were all pretty cool in my opinion. Another thing that I thought this movie did well on were the action scenes portrayed by Jason Momoa and Isabel Merced. I felt like this movie definitely did have like a decent amount of action scenes that were different, some being good, some being a little bit crazy. Like, to me, I felt like all the action scenes were pretty decent. None of them stuck out to me as being like awful or just cheesy. Another thing that I thought this movie did well on during the first half of the movie was just talking about the healthcare system of the US and how horrible it can be for quite a few people who are not able to pay for just certain medications that can either help themselves or just help certain family members who are facing just serious illnesses such as cancer. And what I wish would have happened throughout the entire movie was that discuss the people that's just behind it as well. As it does in the first half of the movie, talk about that as well, but just how slimy people can be with just raising the prices of just like certain medications and everything else. Like, I wish they would have talked about that more when it came to this movie. The first thing that I did not enjoy about this movie would probably have to be the amount of villains changing hands as the main villain. Now, in this movie, there was about like 3 to 4 different people that you could consider as villains. But the problem was that though, there was only like one villain during each act of the movie. Like in the first act, there was one villain. In the second act, there was a whole new villain. In the third act, there was a whole new villain. And then in the fourth act, there was the same villain between the second and third act, and also just a whole new villain instead. I wish this movie would have just focused on maybe 1 or 2 villains throughout the entire movie and not add any more villains as well, because I get it, but at the same time, like, it really wasn't needed. Another thing that I did not enjoy about this movie would probably have to be that the fact is that they did not talk more about like the US healthcare system, how politics can be a factor with how the US healthcare system is and everything, and also just how grimy people are when it comes to it, how people take brides and everything. I wish it would have been talked about more throughout the entire movie, because I felt like during the second act and the last few acts of the movie, it definitely did switch from like a guy wanting to like get revenge and everything against the people responsible in the US healthcare system to like saving themselves from being captured by the FBI or just people trying to kill them and everything. And this is just a small little spoiler ahead, but there is a surprising plot twist revelation in this movie that some people will really enjoy and some people won't really like. I was actually surprised at it, and that is all I'm going to say about that. Out of all, the movie itself, it's not a bad movie to watch. I definitely wish that they would have done a lot more when it came to like certain things and just went at it just a lot harder as well. But at the same time, it was a cool little movie, and how I would rate Sweet Girl out of 5 stars. I would probably give Sweet Girl maybe 2.5 stars out of 5. So thank you for watching, and until next time, goodbye.